let's just jump right in. Are you absolutely sure your online marketing is, well, working? Today, we're going to break down an incredibly powerful tool that answers that exact question, the Digital Marketing Audit. Think of it as your secret weapon to make sure every single dollar you spent online is actually delivering real results. You know that feeling. You're posting on social media, you've got a website, maybe you're even running some ads, but you still feel kind of lost. You're putting in all this effort, but it's just so hard to tell if you're on the right track, or if you're just wandering around in a digital maze. And that, of course, leads to the big question. Are you really investing in your marketing, or is it all just guesswork? Pouring money into campaigns without knowing what's actually bringing in customers? That feels like shooting in the dark. It's a super common frustration, but thankfully, there is a way to turn on the lights. And that solution is a digital marketing audit. The best way to think about it is like a full-on health checkup for your entire online presence. It's designed to completely replace that feeling of uncertainty with total clarity, giving you a really precise diagnosis of what's working, what's not, and exactly where you should focus next. So what is it, really? A digital marketing audit is basically a systematic review of everything you do online. We're talking your website, social media, email campaigns, your SEO, the whole shebang. And the goal is super simple. Find out what's not working, figure out what is, and uncover those clear opportunities to get better. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the impact this can have is huge. When you analyze your data, you can fine-tune your strategy to get the absolute most out of your investment. You'll find all those hidden gaps and missed opportunities, you get to see what your competitors are up to, and ultimately, you find much better ways to connect with your customers. It is a true game changer. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. An audit sounds kind of big and scary, but it really doesn't have to be. We're going to break it all down into a simple 7-step blueprint. This is your practical how-to guide to make the whole process manageable and, most importantly, really effective. So here it is, our 7-step roadmap. We're going to start with goals and data. Then we'll dive into your website, your social media, your content, and your paid ads. And we'll wrap it all up by taking a little peek at your competition. Let's get into step 1. First things first, you need to know where you're going. What do you actually want to achieve here? Is it about getting more traffic to your website, or is it about getting better quality leads? Without a clear goal, you're just collecting a bunch of data for no reason. Having a specific objective, like, say, increase our qualified sales leads by 15% this quarter, focuses the whole audit and turns a sea of information into a handful of insights you can actually use. Okay, next up, we gather the evidence. These are your key performance indicators, or KPIs. Basically, the hard numbers that tell the real story of how your marketing is performing. We're looking at everything: website traffic, conversion rates, social media engagement, all of it. Just think of this step as collecting all the clues before you solve the mystery of what's really driving your growth. And the good news is you don't have to do this all by hand. There are some incredibly powerful tools out there to make this way more efficient. Google Analytics is pretty much non-negotiable for understanding who's visiting your site. And tools like SEMrush can show you exactly how you're ranking in search engines and what your competitors are doing. Using the right tools here turns data collection from a total chore into a huge strategic advantage. All right, now for your digital storefront, your website. A slow-loading page or a site that's just a mess on a phone isn't just a minor issue. It's like a closed door to a potential customer. So this step is all about auditing that user experience. We're making sure that once people find you, the path to becoming a customer is smooth, it's intuitive, and it's fast. Because honestly, all the traffic in the world doesn't matter if your site itself is the problem. Okay, on to social media. Are you actually building a community, or are you just posting into the void? Here, we need to look past those vanity metrics like follower counts and really dig into engagement rates. Which posts are actually starting conversations? Which ones are falling flat? This isn't just about being popular. It's about understanding what your audience truly cares about so you can create more of that and build a really loyal following. And what about your content? Your blogs, your articles, your videos? Is it doing its job? This step is all about evaluating if your content is pulling in the right audience and, this is crucial, if it's optimized for search engines so people can actually find you in the first place. Good content answers your customers' questions before they even have to ask. This audit helps turn your content from a possible expense into a hardworking asset that consistently brings in leads. Now, if you're paying for ads, this step is all about plugging leaks in your budget. Are your ads reaching the people who are most likely to buy from you, or are you just paying for clicks that go absolutely nowhere? Here, we analyze your return on ad spend, your ROAS, to make sure every dollar you put in is bringing more than a dollar back out. It's about maximizing your impact, not just your spend. And finally, no strategy exists in a vacuum, right? It's time to look at your competitors. What are they doing really well that you can learn from? And maybe more importantly, where are their blind spots that you can take advantage of? Analyzing their playbook, their keywords, their best content, their social strategy can uncover some massive opportunities for you to innovate, stand out, and grab a bigger piece of the market. So you've made it through the 7 steps. Now what? Well, this is where the magic really happens. The whole point of the audit is to transform those gaps you just found into real, tangible opportunities for growth. It's all about turning every weakness into a potential strength. And it's funny, you'd be surprised how often audits turn up the same core issues. Things like targeting the completely wrong audience, having weak SEO that basically makes you invisible on Google, or inconsistent branding that just confuses customers. Spotting these common gaps is the absolutely essential first step toward fixing them for good. And this is what that transformation looks like in action. Poor targeting becomes a sharp focus on high-value audiences. Weak SEO turns into top search rankings. An inconsistent brand message solidifies into strong credibility and trust. So you see, an audit doesn't just find problems, it draws a clear, data-backed map to the solution. But here's the thing. This isn't just a one-time fix. The real power comes from making audits a regular part of your strategy. It's about building a solid foundation for long-term success by constantly listening to what your data is trying to tell you. You know, there's a quote from the source material that just says it perfectly. In today's digital-first era, it's about intelligence based on data. Success today isn't about shooting in the dark anymore. It's about making smart, intelligent decisions based on real performance data. So, what does that look like over the long haul? Well, it creates this powerful cycle of continuous improvement. Your marketing stays perfectly aligned with your actual business goals, not just whatever the latest trend is. You stop wasting money on channels that don't perform, so you become way more cost-effective. And ultimately, it empowers you to make confident, data-driven decisions that create a better customer experience and drive growth that actually lasts. So how often should you actually do this? Well, the general recommendation is to do a full deep dive audit at least once a year. But to really stay ahead of the curve, quick quarterly check-ins are perfect for making sure your strategy stays sharp and effective. And that leaves us with one last really powerful question for you to think about. Remember, an audit isn't about finding what's broken. It's about discovering the hidden potential that's already there in your online presence. So what's hiding in your data?